Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you. How you guys doing? The day that we all have been waiting for is now. We have our proud son, our idol son that all of us in the diaspora have been crying, craving for to have on our studio. We're going to bring him right now. We also have our, let me bring them in first, then we take it from there. Hello, yes, I can see right there. Hello, good evening, sir. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Mr. Joe, can you hear me?
Oh, very well. Sorry, I thought you were referring to Honorable. Very well. I'm good to be here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, good. Good to have you here. I want to bring our Honorable in now because I can see him on backstage. Hello, good evening. Our wonderful Honorable right there. Can you hear me, sir? Good evening to you.
Good evening, my brother. Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for having me in the studio. How are you?
I'm very fine, sir. It's good to have you here as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. We've been waiting for this day to come. You know, I'm going to allow our brother, Mr. Joe, to introduce himself first. Then you you help us to welcome our Honorable to Naija Watch family. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Naija Watch. Thanks for welcoming us to your platform. I'm Joseph Ehigiamusoy, Edo State Cultural Ambassador to the United Kingdom, empowered to be in this position by our honorable leader who we have in the house today to come and talk to us. It's a privilege to be here to introduce him to this show today. I'm talking about no other person. I want to say once an honorable, always an honorable. So I'll still introduce him as our former Honorable Commissioner for Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Diaspora Affairs for Edo State. I'm talking about no other but Honorable Osaze Osemwegie Ero. A pleasure to have you in the studio here, sir.
Thank you so much, Ehigiamusoy. Thank you, Naija Watch Live, for this opportunity. Naija
Watch, yes. Good to have you here, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Reaching out, bringing that.
Okay.
Yes, we know that.
Do people are we still connected? Okay. Yes. Thank you for the good job that you're doing. You know, thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We're not going to take much of your time. We've been waiting for this day to come because there's a lot of circulation going on. Meanwhile, I want to personally say, accompanied with my Naija Watch family, to welcome you back. We are happy to see you again. Before whatever that happens, you've always been a very, very prominent and active commissioner for Edo people all over the world. In fact, you're the first commissioner for art and culture and tourism who have been communicating with every one of us right from the first day you got into power. So, sir, we are happy to have you here today. Like I said before, I don't want us to take much of your time. The reason why we decided to invite you to Naija Watch today, Naija Watch is a media, one of the biggest in Edo State. All we are doing is to fight for the betterment of Edo State, to push Edo State forward. And we would like to ask you what really happened. Although we've seen one or two things, one of your interviews here and there, but here in diaspora, Naija Watch is a platform where almost all Edo people all over the world, especially those of us in diaspora, this is where we communicate with ourselves. So we would like to ask you what really happened in terms of the traveled that happened years ago, how you were head in France, and later on they took you to Italy. So we would like to know, sir.
Well, thank you so much again. I was not held in France. I had nothing to do with France or Paris. We need to get the record straight. And I'm sure, like you said, you've heard from my, various interview. Because of the interview I had on Arise TV, the next day I came to Nigeria, went viral, which was very good. Because nobody can tell the story better than yourself. While I was incarcerated, there was a lot of rumors that, people were peddling. Even people that don't even know me were saying a lot of things, about the trial, about the case, and about Governor Obaseki. Well, I was actually on my way to Berlin on the invitation of the Nigerian ambassador to Germany, His Excellency Ambassador Tuga, for an official meeting about our restitution of the artifacts. So that's what happened on the 1st of December. And when we got to Amsterdam, myself and the former commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs, Osaze Osemwegie, we went through the transit, and my passport flagged off. So I called immigration and the police and asked them what was happening. And after I checked, they said I have, the European arrest warrant, not even Interpol, like they said as well. European arrest warrant on my name from Italy, for mafia-related offenses, crimes, and all that. So it was a big shock to myself, my friends, and my family, and we tried to fight the extradition there. So we did all that. It took us about 2 months plus. Then the extradition failed, and I was extradited to Rome, Italy, on the 21st of February 2020, from Amsterdam, not France. So we went to trial, Freedom Court. My lawyers challenged the case. In fact, there was a lot of discrepancies and errors in the arrest procedure because the prosecutor did not follow the normal procedure for arrest, European arrest warrant. So that failed. And we're in court on the 9th of March. And I got victory. And the judge asked them to release me immediately. So they were giving me a release letter from Rome prison in a maximum security in Rome, while they were issuing another letter by the prosecutor, saying that this is prosecutors have to be arrested and all that so that he can correct his anomaly and the discrepancies in his arrest procedure. That was the first shock for me. So we did that, and you know, we're battling it. COVID was hammering on Italy, on us as well. Things where there were a lot of restrictions and all. So till July 10th, when we have the pre-trial, you know, when I was released, the lawyer told me that I'm a free man, that the prosecutor only have the right to do that. And the judge that arrested me, Loretta Bianco, have another within 20 days to reissue, rearrest me, and she does not apply within 20 days that they don't have any right to hold me. So on the 19th day, only for another letter from another judge, Giacomo Massin, that confirmed the arrest on the first week of April. So we went for the Freedom Court again, and of course the prosecutor will have time to correct his anomalies in the arrest procedure and all that. So I was still waiting for the proof of his arrest. I still didn't understand what was going on. You cannot just call me mafia and a mafia kingpin without any physical evidence of your crime or the crime committed.
Yeah.
You know, so from there, on the 10th of July, we had the pre-trial. So I still have hope that once we go to court, if they don't have evidence against me, whatever they are accusing me of, they will let me go. We went for the pre-trial on the 10th of July, and the judge, I raised my hand to ask the judge, what is my evidence? Where is the evidence against me? What is going on? I still don't understand, you know, why I'm here and why I'm being arrested. So they brought the case file in English. I read through it. I still didn't understand, you know, because the investigation, the prosecutor, according to them, investigated the association, all the people for over 5 years. And the only thing they could say that I attended a meeting in 2013 of a GCA, the Group Security Association, which is a registered charity organization in Nigeria, in London, in Italy, and other places. So we did ask for the proof against me. He could not present it. And he asked me to do a short trial. A short trial, they will judge you based on the case file that the man has investigated, and they will convict that person if found guilty. But most times, like my lawyer told me, short trial is the trap that the Italian justice system used to trap people. Because they tell you that if you are not guilty, if you are guilty, you do to term of the conviction. But if you take a long trial, which takes a long time, it takes about 3 years to 4 years, and you found guilty, full sentence. If the person is convicted for 9 years, 10 years, it does the full sentence. But if it's for short trial, it does 2/3 of the conviction. So I told the judge, if we do the prosecutor where he shot himself on the foot was when he told me to do the short trial. That if I do the short trial, he will give me house arrest. That was when I knew there was a foul play. Because why would you be offering me house arrest if you know you have something against me and you call me a mafia kingpin? So I told my lawyers, no, we're doing the long trial. And we took the long trial, and they fixed September 2nd. Excuse me, hold on. They fixed September 2nd, sorry about that. They fixed September 2nd for the trial. And they keep postponing the case, postponing the case until we're not transferred to Torino, because the case was actually from Torino. I've never been to Torino in my life. You know, so we got to Torino. That was under big ordeal because I was put in a bus in handcuff for 11 hours on the road from Rome to Torino. My hands were swollen. And when we got to the prison in Torino, you know, the prison was, dirty, smelling and all that. Anyway, they keep postponing the case on eventually we had the chance on the 24th of November, 2020, when the case actually started. And the judge now asks the prosecutor, where is your evidence? Because once you are doing the long trial, the prosecutor will be compelled to bring the evidence he has against you, because that is the real trial. And he now brought a forged manual that he said this is a manual that the association uses for their crime. And he called the manual a Green Bible. I'm sure if you Google Green Bible, you will see what they've written in it. that apparently they've used this Green Bible to convict over 300 Nigerians, and there were a lot of criminal things written inside that they said the GCA or association does. So we went through the Green Bible and found out that it was forged, because they said on page 14 of the Green Bible that we criminal organization, we deal on this and this and this and this and this and that. On page 14 of that book. On page 31, 32, and 33 of that same Green Bible, they have an event that was done in 2017 in Asaba. Then on page 51, it says that this Green Bible was written in 1978 by University of Benin students. Then page 78, it says that is the life of the collaborator is in danger for him to have collaborated with the ministry, with the commission, the justice system, that is himself, his wife, his children are going to be killed. Apparently, they put these idiots, Nosayaba Yare and Geoffrey Thomas Osemwegie, aka Oscar. Nosayaba Yare Ajay, aka Ajay, and Geoffrey Thomas Osemwegie, aka Oscar, were the people that the prosecutor are using as collaborator of justice. And these are criminals that have been in and out of prison. They actually came to court to lie and testify against me in court on the 28th of January. These are Nigerians, they are Benin boys. I've only met them once in my life in that meeting I attended in 2013. There was no communication between myself and these boys. There was nothing criminal. I'm not a criminal. You know, so they did all those ones and they came to court and lied that I was receiving X and X amount, 35,000 euro every 3 months. They've lied with the prosecutor to convict over 300 Nigerians.
Well, I think that's
telling them
probably...
they are criminals, they are mafia, without any single proof. They forged this. Hello, we lost you there.
Back
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
So this one, I'm sure those guys that live in Italy must have seen it. If not, Google it. Green Bible Mafia. They call it Biblia, Verde Biblia. That's the word in Italian. There are a lot of criminal things that the prosecutor forged. So we're able to look at it and told the judge on the 11th of February when I spoke, and I told the judge that the only physical thing that they brought against me is a forged manual. You cannot be accusing me of the mafia thing involved in the importation and exportation of firearms, involved in importation and exportation of drugs from South America to Nigeria and to Italy, according to them, prostitution, human trafficking, kidnapping, extortion, without any complaint. Nobody complained. No single person came to report to the police that said that either myself or anybody that I know in Italy were involved in all these things. You know, so you are bringing a forged manual as the only physical evidence for a case, 416Bs, they call it there. So I was able to speak, and my lawyers were very expensive, you know, and thank God the prayers from all of you, from every Nigerian, every other person all over the world, saw me through. So that is what is going on, my brother. We have over 300 Nigerians in Italy that have been arrested and kept in prison, whether they are cultists or whatever name the prosecutor used for them. We don't have Nigerian mafia, and we don't have mafia in Nigeria. And if all these boys are fighting, whether they are selling marijuana or whatever they are doing, that they should be arrested and judged according to the crime that they commit, not using mafia criminal code, which is the highest Italian mafia criminal code, Article 416B, on Nigerians, without any single proof of those crimes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because yes. I've been listening to some of people, oh, is a cultist, is this, is a mafia, is it? No, that is different. Do you understand?
I wanted to ask you that. Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish. You cannot arrest somebody, a pocket picker, and put kidnapping or murder or armed robbery charge on that person. If anybody commits crime, let that person be prosecuted according to the crime they committed. Don't get me wrong, some of these boys in the case file were selling marijuana on the street. There were some of them that were doing credit card fraud. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. I have the case file here, I have a copy of the Bible, and there was no phone interaction between myself and these people. The meeting I attended in 2013, thank God, the prosecutor were investigating these idiots, this same Nosayaba Yari and Oscar. That because they attended that meeting, they came and bugged the place. You know, have a recording of that meeting, which was very good for me, and that was what vindicated me as well. But the prosecutor still doctored it, put a lot of lies in it. So we had to pay a lot of money for it to be translated, which was very different from the one that he had. And when I got to court, the first day we met in court, we told my lawyers to the judge, so please, the only thing that linked me in this whole case is that meeting in 2013 of the charity of Messenger meeting I attended. And the court should independently do their own translation of that meeting, which they did. And that is why I am exonerated today, my brother. So Nusayaba and Oscar, they've been on the police protection program by the prosecutor, pointing innocent Nigerians, calling them mafia, and courts are lying upon them and putting them in prison. There are people that have met in prison that have been there for 5 years, 6 years. There are some that were sentenced to 9 years, 12 years. I hope people in Italy are listening to me, because they know, either they know somebody or they have somebody, their friend, that's been involved in this. The Italian justice system is very complex and corrupt. They will go on your phone, do telephone interception, and anybody that you are talking to, they will pack you and say you are mafia, because they are collecting money from the European Union, fighting mafia. So we don't have mafia in Nigeria. I'm not saying that some of these boys don't do bad or don't do what they do, or sell marijuana or fight in street, which is very bad. They should be arrested and judged on that case. They have mafia, they have the association delinquency, they have mere association. With those ones, you don't have as much as 5 years, 10 years, 15 years prison sentences as they put for, as they allege for mafia 416 beats. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
You're going to ask question.
Right. Yes. Thank you very much for that explanation. Before I allow Ambassador Joseph Egamusoy to talk to us, but I'm going to ask you this. With the information that got to us, too, one of the information is still one of the things that we're talking about now, which they said you are the kingpin of cultists, which cultism. I want you to clear this on Nigeria Watch right now. Do you have anything to do with cultism at all?
Nigeria Watch, how can at my age be doing cultism? How can at my age be doing cultism? If a mafia kingpin, I left school 30 years ago. Is it at this stage I'll still be doing mafia or school association? No, I don't have anything to do with cultism. Do you understand? Okay. And even if all these guys, even if these boys are whether cultists or association or blackouts or whatever, I'm not supporting it, but it's not enough for the prosecutor to put 416 beats on them. We need to be very clear on that. Do you understand? Yeah. So if you're treating them, because that's what it costs, because there was a lot of mix up in the case file. You understand? You cannot call me a mafia kingpin with 416 beats. Go and Google 416 beats. Everything is on the open. 416 beats is importation and exportation of firearms, guns, importation and exportation of drugs, cocaine, prostitution, human trafficking, kidnapping. That is what goes with the 416 beats. Do you understand? Yes. So even if you are mafia or whatever they call them, it is different from that 416 beats. And they have article delinquency, because I got to learn those ones while I was in detention. So when you are ordinary association, they have all these things in Italy. They treat them differently. But because of the money they are collecting, they have to put the mafia, the money they are collecting from European Union, to make it big. And when they arrest Nigerians, 50 Nigerians, 70 Nigerians, they will do a lot of propaganda on television and say they are Nigerian mafia. The last one they did, October 28th, 70 Nigerians were arrested while I was still in detention. What did they show on television? They show kitchen knives. And you are putting 416 bills upon these people. There is 20 Nigerians that were sentenced to 140 years. They call them cultists. 140 years. In September 20th, they are doing their appeal. They were sent, Google it, Torino Chronicle, page 8, September 26, 2020. Go and Google all these things. 20 Nigerians sentenced to 140 years. What did they use to convict them? This forged Green Bible. So wow. What are we talking about? People come on social media and start saying nonsense. I mean, mafia kingpin. I'm doing this. And while at my age, there is nothing like that, my brother.
Okay.
I left Scooted. I do not associate with them. I lived in London for 24 years with no criminal record. And that is why the British Embassy came and stood by me throughout the trial. Okay?
Wonderful. Yes, I wanted you to clear the air because a lot of those in the diaspora are watching right now, and many of them are still going to play back this video. So we need to get all this clear. The next question I'm going to ask you, Honorable, is that we also heard that there was some money with you, which $2 million. Or, you know, I would like you to clear that on as well. How do you manage to carry $2 million all the way from Nigeria to Europe?
But I think you said you've listened to my interview, and that's been clear. There's nothing to do with money at all. Those were just lies peddled by the opposition or people that were trying to bring down the governor Obaseki's administration, thinking they were doing the governor out. But they're doing more good because that kind of stabilized those people's loyalty to the governor and re-elected him back as his, for his second election. There was nothing to do with the money. There was no money with me. The only money I had with me was 1,200 euros on my credit card. Okay. Not $2 million. In this modern age, how can somebody with three carry that kind of cash? You know the quantity of $2 million. And that's very funny. But there are people that have even traveled, that have lived abroad, whether because of politics started peddling the same nonsense. So, but that's been clear. It has nothing to do with money or the governor at all. I've just told you the story and what happened and what transpired and what is going on in Italy. So what I want to say now, my brother, is that every Edo person, every Nigerian, because this is not just only Edo thing. We have people from Anambra State. One stallion, Amachuku is there. We have Francis Iguema. We have people from Ebonyi State. We have people from Oyo State. We have people mainly from Delta. Even 50% are from Edo. So this is not Edo thing. And like I said, I make a vow to God and to them that they will not be forgotten. My coming out now to start campaigning and raising awareness for the injustice that is going on there is not because of anything, because of the vow that I made to God. And because I know that innocent people are suffering. These people, over 300 Nigerians that is locked up in that prison, are not suffering alone. They have wives, they have children, they have parents, they have brothers, they have sisters. Most of these boys are breadwinners of their family, and they are languishing in prison for crimes they did not commit. So whatever anybody want to say, I'm focused. I know God is on my side, and the genuine people will join me to raise this awareness. Let the Italian justice system produce the evidence of 416 bills they have against them. If they do that, I will go back to Italy and serve and go to jail if that's possible. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I'm not genuine, if I'm not clean, I won't be talking to you now. The prosecutor was asking for 15 years because that is what they give to mafia kingpin. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's nothing to hide. Let them join us in this campaign to save those innocent people. The reason I'm talking to you here because God was on my side. I have friends. I have people. I have a good family, a good wife that stood by me. To raise money.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me, Honorable? Okay. I think we have some break there on the network. Okay. We have him back now. Honorable, can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. I'm going to allow the floor for Ambassador Joseph Egiamusoy. Can you hear me, sir?
Very well, I can hear you. Thank you. This Honorable Osaze Osemwegie, like I said earlier on, once an honorable, always an honorable. I'm particularly delighted that you fought a good fight, and today you are vindicated. From the testimonies we have heard you give, it looks like your steps were ordered to where you went to encounter these people who are in incarceration innocently. We have also heard that the justice there looked like the gagged justice, which is some of the things that form the flyer of the program today. Would you confirm that this is a mission that God has commissioned you to pursue?
Ambassador Joe, I want to, I think that's the only thing that can give me joy, because while I was there for 18 months, I had the time to reflect on a lot of things. I had the time to pray. I had the time to get closer to God. I had the time to advise these young people as well. And it became very clear that the purpose that God sent me there was to come and liberate his children. Because these 300 families, these 300 people have brothers and sisters, like I said, they have families that are praying to God day and night, fasting and praying to God. God cannot come by himself to do it. And that is the reason I believe that God sent me there, because God provided the resources for me, provided people, my friends like yourself, Joe, who was very instrumental, to support me, to pray for me, to provide the resources for me to fight this fight. Without missing words, I have it on paper that it cost me £56,000, which is about 40 million naira to pay my lawyers, and it's on paper. I have the receipt. So how many of these boys have 1,000 euro? I was even the one buying them soap, cream, and food in prison. So these are innocent people. Like I said, their families are praying. Some of them are breadwinners. None of them have the kind of capacity that I have in terms of resources and even manpower. But God took me there. God gave me the wherewithal to stand it, because it's not everybody that it's only a person in my capacity that can be castrated and come back stronger and alive than the way God took me, brought me out. You can see me, I'm even more determined, more stronger to fight this cause. I could have come out and said, let me just mind my business and stay in London and live my life. No, that would be mission defeated or mission not accomplished. God sent me there to fight this fight for this boy, and I have what it takes. And I'm begging everybody to join me in this fight. Let's forget about the nonsense that people write. Let's forget about the nonsense that people say. Yes, every Nigerian is a criminal. These boys did not commit that crime. They did not commit the 416 beats. Like I told the prosecutor, you've done a very good investigation for 5 years. You now distinguish the boys that were selling marijuana and the ones that were doing credit card fraud. Separate them. Let them face the sentences, which is maybe 1 year, 2 years in prison. That has nothing to do with mafia, organized mafia criminal organization that they call them. Using the same article for the Italian mafias. And when they arrest these Italian mafias, they will see arms, guns, money, drugs on them. You are using the same code with this in Nigerians. It is not done. That is injustice. So I want to agree with you that God sent me there. God protected me. God guided me. God provided resources for me to fight this fight. And that is why I'm not relenting. Within the next few weeks, I'm telling you that there's going to be a protest. I'm not hiding it. I'm going to lead a protest to the front of the Italian embassy to demand the immediate release of those Nigerians held under Nigerian mafia association in Italy. We do not have mafia, Nigerian mafia. On the 20th of September, 2020, this year, there will be the appeal of those 20 Nigerians. I have the records. There will be appeal on the court of Torino for those 20 Nigerians sentenced to 140 years. If we do that protest and draw the attention of the world to this, that will help those boys in that appeal, because their lawyers will draw the attention of the court to to that protest, to tell them to bring the proof against them, to tell the court that that green Bible that they did a lot of propaganda in Italy is forged. My case is a reference point now that that green Bible is forged, so that those 20 Nigerians can be released immediately from that appeal case. On the 13th and 17th of September, the 70 Nigerians that were arrested on Nigerian mafia, the only thing they showed was a kitchen knife. That case, the protest will put pressure on the judge as well to release them or provide the evidence that you have against them. Forget whether they belong to any association, whether they call them cultists or not. That does not have anything to do with the 416Bs, Article 416Bs of the Italian mafia criminal code. It's two different things, my brother. So I saw some people writing, oh, he's a kingpin. Is this? When you see kingpin, you will know them now. How can I be a mafia kingpin and I will still be working for as a commissioner in Edo State? It's not possible. Do you understand? So we need to get our record straight. So like you said, Joe, I believe, and a lot of people, even where I've gone for prayers, the top pastors and all that have told me that when they saw my interview that they believe that God led my step. And I believe that because I'm strong. Thank God my wife, my children, everybody were strong. My dad, my parents. So those people don't have the capacity and the resources that I have. And I thank God that God took me there and brought me out. And we all need to come together. Whether you are Edo or Igbo or Yoruba, this is injustice on humanity. It shouldn't be happening in this 21st century. Okay? I hope I answered your question.
Yes, very well. Thank you very much. The next thing I want to quickly bring on the floor of this this interview is you have been very dogged. You have been very, very vocal. You have remained very confident, knowing that you are fulfilling the mission that God has called you to deliver. So far, it's just you championing this cause, and like you said, it's not just an Edo thing; it's a Nigerian thing. Over 300 Nigerians in incarceration for crimes that they are not guilty of, literally. Now, I want to ask, whilst you were there in incarceration for about 18 months, fighting your cause in your corner, like you said, with support of friends, families, and all of that. Some said His Excellency the Governor, who you worked for, abandoned you. That's one. I would want you to throw light on that. Yeah. Secondly, I'd also want you to, let us know, because now that you are here, liberated, free, I believe that it should not just be a one-man effort. As determined as you are, God help you and God provide for you. Don't you think that it's time now to draw the attention of the Nigerian government? Because the responsibility of every government around the world is the protection of lives and property of the citizenry. Yeah. Now we have diaspora Nigerians languishing in jail for offenses they did not commit. You have been there. Now you are a living witness. So don't you think it's time to draw the attention of the Nigerian government? Because in the past, they may have feigned ignorance that they do not know of anything like this happening. But now you have been there, you have seen it. Now you can come and give evidence that this is happening. So would you be drawing the attention of the Nigerian government in this journey that you are embarking on?
Thank you again, Joe. First of all, the question you asked about Governor Godwin Obaseki's support, I cannot fault the governor at all. I got the full support of the governor, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki. When he was arrested, he was one of the first person that I called, and he asked me if I committed any crime, if I was innocent, if there was anything. I said no. And right there, he picked up the phone to call the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyema, telling him that his commissioner has been arrested, and the commissioner told him he's innocent, and he believed me, that he should make sure that they do everything possible, to assist me over there. The governor himself, when I talked about this money that was spent, governor personally supported me financially in this cause. The governor went to see my parents severally, my old age parents, just to console them and tell them all will be well. The governor called my wife severally in London, telling my wife that everything will be well, that he believed in my innocence and I will be back home soon. The governor never replaced me because he believed in my innocence and he know I will come back. He never replaced me, my position, until the last few weeks before the election, which was strategic. How can I fault a man like that? The man, even though there were peddling rumors that I stole for him $2 million, it did not shake him. That is leadership. So the governor stood by me from day one, and these are points that I have already highlighted to tell you that he was there. On the 14th of May, 2020, there was a letter addressed to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, signed by the former Attorney General, Professor Yinka Omoregbe, telling the Minister of Foreign Affairs that, you know, my lawyers have requested for a place for a house arrest. If it's possible that the embassy have a space for me, so that they can give me a space for temporary accommodation. And if they don't have a space, the governor said that they should rent an apartment, that he will personally pay for it. I have that letter. So how can I fault a man like that? And the governor was making every move, seeing the ministers, seeing the ambassadors. Even he went and visited the Italian ambassador to Nigeria. He visited the ambassador to Italy, asking them to support my cause. They refused. So the governor, in terms of support, the governor Godwin Obaseki, I cannot fault him one bit. He stood by me from day one, and I want to use this opportunity on this media to thank him so much and appreciate him. And every Edo person should join me to do that, because every other person could have just discarded and run away from, you know, that scandal and that rumor about the $2 million. So I'm sure most of you don't know that he did it, but this is exactly what he did. Okay, the question about me taking this on myself or getting the federal government involved. First of all, like I said in my first interview, did not get involved in supporting support. I wrote a personal letter, which I had it that works in Abuja to make sure that letter delivered. There was no response from him. The letters from the governor, no letter. When the pressure was being put on the Nigerian ambassador, former ambassador to Italy, Yina Yusuf, he said he cannot act without the directive of the foreign affairs minister. When I was in Amsterdam, the former ambassador, Ngofa Oji, came to visit me at the detention center. The director of consular, Alex, came 3 times to see me there. So they did those ones on their own account. And they were supposed to get a bail in Amsterdam. There was a letter that was supposed to come from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He refused to sign that letter and send it down. So how can I come out now and go and meet such people? Yes, I've spoken to Rebecca Debiri, who is the chairperson of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. I know Rebecca Debiri to be very active and proactive. I've spoken to her and she's ready. She's not been in the country. But there is a plan to go to Abuja.
We're having this technical glitch as a result of network connection.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can
hear
hear
you now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just round up quickly. It's important that we do this. If we go, whatever the minister wants to do, I'm sure he's aware of it now. I saw him on social media responding to the recent incidents about the Nigerian diplomat that was manhandled in Indonesia. That was very good of him to come out to issue a press statement. But I would have expected him to do the same for the over 300 Nigerians in Italy that is being incarcerated, you know, whether they committed the crime or not. First of all, as a Nigerian, as a citizen of a country, once you are arrested anywhere, it's the responsibility of the embassy to ask first what you crime, what is the, to see you and see, check the crime alleged against you. Yes, no country can interfere in the sovereignty of any country, especially the judicial process, but it is responsibility of the embassy to make sure that your welfare, your health, and proper legal representative is given to you. I did not get that from my country, my dear country, Nigeria. Not even a single visit in Italy by the embassy staff, not even a letter. So I got in touch with the British embassy, the MP, and they came to see me more than 4 times from the British embassy. They sent me books. They were in constant touch with my lawyers. And when the case started proper, they wrote a letter to the judge through my lawyers, telling the judge that I have lived in London for over 24 years with no criminal record. And they are watching. Yes, they cannot interfere in their judicial process, but they are watching so that I can get a fair trial. You know, whether you like it or not, I think that will put a check on the justice system of that country, of that case.
Absolutely.
When you were in Nigeria, first of all, a senior government official like myself was arrested, and I didn't get this kind of support. What is the fate of the ordinary Nigerians? Yes, I said somebody said, oh, because it's me, it's happened now. Yes, it was an eye-opener. I don't think anybody or any of those boys can come out and speak and talk the way I am talking now. And we will have the courage or even the support that I have all over the world. So that is why the God sent me there. And that is why I'm speaking this now. Yes, I will get in touch with them, but we cannot wait for that diplomatic process. That will take time. We need to raise awareness. The only language that any country will understand is a protest, peaceful protest, to go and make our demand in front of the Italian embassy and tell them this is what we want to do. And I'm making a promise that once we do that within the next 3 weeks, by the time I come to London in September, we will do the same in front of the Italian embassy in London. We will go to Brussels and do it in front of the European Parliament. We will go to Strasbourg in France and do it in front of the European Human Rights Court. And we will take it to Rome. But I'm very sure before we do the Nigeria and the London one, they will meet us and negotiate and meet our demand so that those innocent Nigerians will be released, because there's no country that will want any international embarrassment. They have, Italy have a new justice minister now, because while I was in detention, I saw the way she was doing, and she was very active. And even the European Union have complained about the complexity and the corruptness of the justice system of Italy. This coronavirus, the recovery fund that they promised them, they told them they're not going to give them once until they start reforming that judicial process, which the woman started. While I was still in detention, 20 judges were arrested, even prosecutors in Italy. So you can understand where I'm coming from. So yes, the Nigerian government can be doing their diplomatic process, but I don't want these boys, innocent boys, to stay longer than necessary in prison. There was one guy that died in one of the prisons in Italy, a Benin boy. He died in prison from this case. There is another one, a Fossa, 2 years ago. The Italian man boiled oil and poured on him inside the prison. All these things were not said outside. We're not let. But this is a son of a family. This is a child of a family. So these are things that went down there in prison. Like I said, I was lucky to be alive to come out here. There are 2 of the Nigerian Edo boys that are already running mad. They're in the Torino prison there. They've been there for 4 years and 5 years for this alleged mafia offenses without any single evidence. And the prosecutor cajoled them to do the short trial. Naija watch. Your ear don't fool at me.
I don't surprise. You know, thank you very much, Honorable. I appreciate your time with us. Although you told us that you're not going to spend much, but now you actually spend more than 48 minutes with us. We have only 1 or 2 callers because we called this media Naija Watch family. So that would like to contribute to this.
Okay.
And because the phone has been buzzing. Let me pick one of them right now. Hello, good morning, good afternoon to you. Your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening, Naija Watch. Good evening, Edo State. Good evening, Nigerians all in diaspora.
Please be audible. Be audible.
Yes, my name is Israel. Thank you very much for inviting Mr. Osaze Osemwegie. Thank you very much for honoring Naija Watch call. My question is, thank you very much, and we thank God Almighty that you are out there right now. You have your freedom back. Just like you stated, like lots of our Nigerian brothers and sisters who have been locked up in the Italian, not only in the Italian jail, the whole jails in Europe and everywhere. Now, being a victim of this thing, my 2 questions is going to go like this. One, during the election, there was an allegation going on that you helped the governor embezzle some of this money back in Italy. That's number 1. I want you to clear the air.
You already done that.
Brothers and sisters, okay?
Yeah.
To actually get if actually that was true.
You already done that. Go for the second one, please.
Okay, as a Nigerian, you said you were arrested and there was the embassy never gave a call or never put a call across, because as a commissioner, you are somebody who has been elected. As an elected member, you should be given a kind of an immunity. Why was this thing not being respected by the Nigerian government?
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Mr. Israel. Thank you. We are taking the second call. That's it. Hold on, sir. Honorable. Let me take the second caller. Then we just take it from there. You know, before you answer both of them. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Please turn down your system. Turn down your system, please. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Niger Wash.
Good evening.
My name is Bridget Speed.
You have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question is like this. Congratulations to our brother for the justice he got from Italy. Because I saw him in Arise TV with interview. I commend you for the question Dr. Abbott asked about our governor, the way you put it. I commend you that because the question goes like that. Did Edo government abandon you? You pick it up that it did not abandon you. Thank you for that comment. And secondly, I heard that you said there's a lot of Nigerians in the prison in Italy. I disagree with you. I disagree with you because you said you are going to make an advocate for them as for them to be free. But I'm telling you, like 100% Nigerians in Italy, 2 of them is innocent, while the rest are guilty. So let them face their consequences. I know what I'm talking about. That is my contribution.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. All right, Honorable, you can go ahead and answer that.
Thank you very much, Niger Watch. I think the first question talked about the $2 million, which, like you said, I've cleared. There was no money involved. And the second question he talked about was, can you please remind me?
The second question from the first caller.
The first caller, yeah, $2 million, and okay, he said as a commissioner, I was supposed to have immunity. No, that's not correct. Yes, the immunity is for diplomatic immunity is for ministers, ambassadors, and their diplomatic staffs, governors, and deputy governor. It ends there. Maybe as even an elected official, you need to be even speakers. I don't think they have the right for diplomatic immunity. Yes, as commissioner or senior government officials, if you apply, you might be granted in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you know, with the directive or the authorization of the president. At that level, yes. But as a commissioner, I wasn't elected; I was appointed. You know, but they should still respect that. But if I had my diplomatic pass, like what is happening on in Indonesia, is a totally different thing. Okay. Then my sister, yes, you said thank you very much for your commendation about the governor and saying the truth. Like if you know very well, if somebody is speaking the truth, it's consistent because that's the only constant thing in life. This thing I'm telling you, 10 years time, 20 years time, it's still going to be the same thing because maybe you live in Italy. The justice system is very complex. It's very corrupt. And I stand bold to say that. These 300 Nigerians I'm telling you about arrested for Nigerian mafia. They did not commit that Article 416B. We need to understand the two things. I'm not saying that there are boys not selling marijuana, weed on the street, which is very wrong. I'm not saying there are boys or Nigerians that are not doing credit card fraud or fighting themselves on the street, which is very, very wrong. I'm not saying even now there are boys that are still doing what they do in Benin or other places in terms of this cultism that they say. More corrupt for a
Okay, I think the network is interrupted again. Yes, I think so. Okay, we have him back again.
Okay. I don't think it's right for a prosecutor to start manipulating and forging documents for a case. Do you understand? If I didn't go there, I wouldn't know this. I won't even believe it. But I have a copy of that forged Green Bible that they presented against me on the 24th of November with a lot of discrepancies in it. That was the only physical evidence that the man produced. The other 200-300 Nigerians I'm talking about, they are arrested for the same Nigerian mafia that the prosecutor accused me of. And the Article 416B is what he's using against them. That is injustice. That is wrong. That is manipulation of the justice system. They did not commit the crime. If some of them are selling marijuana or fighting or doing credit card fraud, they have it in the case file. Let the prosecutor bring those ones and sentence them for the number of years that the Italian justice system allows that, which is like a 1 year or 2 years maximum for repeated offenders. But for you to come now and say I'm lying, I have their names, I have the case file, I have the forged green Bible with me, and all these things I'm telling you, Google them. You will see it there. 26th of September 2020, page 8, Torino Chronicle. Google it, you will see it there. So these are verifiable things. So you cannot tell me that 300 Nigerians are in prison, that those Nigerians, I'm not saying they are innocent completely of the various crimes they were committing, but they are innocent of the Nigerian 416, Article 416B. That I can tell you because it does not exist in Nigeria, and the prosecutor, Dr. Stefano Castellani and Enrico Di Bama Almadi of the Torino justice system are manipulating the justice system and lying and forging documents to incarcerate, put these people in prison. Okay?
Thank you, Honorable. Ambassador Joseph Egamuso, I want you to run this up so that we can close this up. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Again, I want to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner. I'm pretty confident of what he's saying because it's someone I have come to know very closely, and I've worked with him for a number of years since 2017. We have worked very closely following his appointment as a cultural ambassador to the United Kingdom under his watch, under his ministry. Is a dogged gentleman, an honest person, almost to a fault. That I know personally, and many people around him who also know him. I'm delighted, you know, with as many other Nigerians are, particularly Edolites as well, that he decided to take the longer route and have a long suffering in prison, maximum security prison, just to vindicate himself and prove his innocence. I'm glad that today he's a free man and is walking freely. He did not take the shortcut. So congratulations one more time on behalf of all Edo State cultural ambassadors around the world, and of course, Edo people. What we would want to know from yourself over time, which I believe you're working on, is the lineup of programs that you want to employ to execute this vision, this mission that you are embarking on, you know, and the sort of support that you want from the people while you're waiting for the Nigerian government on a larger scale. You know, everybody, every Nigerian, every Edolite, both at home and diaspora, believe in this cause because it's not fair for people to be incarcerated unfairly and for crimes that they did not commit. So if you could roll out the programs for people to know and the level of support that you require, and at which point you want people to come on board, I think that will make a great meaning to people so that they can also be part of this whole journey that you're embarking on. So again, I want to thank you for the opportunity and honoring the moment for this interview.
Thank you so much, Egamuso, and thank you, Niger Watch. We're going to set up a web page, and it will have a contact number where information will be shared and spread. So I will plead with Niger Watch to be part of it so they can share the information to our people. And at this stage, the support I need is just for you guys to believe in this cause so that we can free those innocent Nigerians. We will do this fight. I so much believe in it. I know it's God's mission for us, and I believe in it, and I know that those innocent Nigerians will be, because by the time we put pressure on them, they will ask questions, and I'm sure the Justice Minister of the Italian will ask them, where is really evidence against these people that you call them 416, you put 416 based allegations on them. We will do this protest. The date, once I go to Abuja next week and see the Minister, Abike Dabiri, and the Inspector General of Police, they will have a date to do the peaceful protest in Lagos. T-shirts will be printed. We'll have our friends, our brothers and sisters, and anybody that knows that his brother is being incarcerated in Italy can come so that you can speak and call your brother's name. I already have few names, about 20 names from different states, which will be read on that day as part of the demand for the immediate release of those Nigerians. So we'll follow up with the contact and the web page and reach out to people to be part of it. I still need all your prayers, to God to see me through this. Yes, I don't even know why I'm doing this. But like I said, it's a conviction from God. And that is the vow that I made when I was in prison, that I will do this, and I will be very satisfied if we can force the Italian justice system to release those people. If they are going to filter them and say the ones that were doing marijuana and credit card fraud, let them do it. Let those boys pay for the time and the crime they committed. But there is nothing like Nigerian mafia. Those 416Bs, Article 416Bs, it's not proven because it wasn't committed. So we need to stand together as one Nigerian, as one Edo people, and as human beings to fight this injustice. I don't know these boys from Adam. I've never met them. I don't know their family, but this has brought us together. That I have some of the numbers of their wives and their children, and I'm talking to them. And they are very encouraged, because that's the only way you can encourage somebody to know that there is a voice, speaking for them. So these people, their families are suffering. Their wives, their children, their brothers, and their sisters, and their parents are suffering. That's the same way mine suffered when I was incarcerated. So if you're a human being, please join us in this struggle, regardless whether you know these people or not. Because posterity will judge us. I'm not doing this for any beneficiary, any gain, expecting any gain. But God is leading my step, and we will do this together. And I beg that you guys join us. So just support us. I'm not asking for money. Don't worry. God will provide the resources for me to print the T-shirts and lead the protest in Lagos. The same thing in London. I saw you were in my Thanksgiving in London. You saw the crowd that they are ready to join me. Even if it's just that crowd that came to church alone, join me to march in front of the Italian embassy. They will start to send a message. We have people calling from Italy, France, from Belgium, who are ready to join us in this struggle. But I know fully well, but before it gets to that stage, the Justice Minister will reach out to our lawyers and negotiate the immediate release of those people. We just need to create awareness. We need to push this crusade, because it is not done. It is wrong. And not in this 21st century, there will still be, modern day slavery on innocent Nigerians, just because the only crime that these boys committed is they are Nigerians and their destiny took them through Italy. That is all. That is all. Do you understand? I'm not saying they are 100%, they don't commit crime, or they don't do credit card fraud, or they don't steal, or they don't fight on the street, or some of them beat girls, which is very wrong. Whatever crime they are committed is wrong. But they did not commit this Article 416Bs. You need to be very clear on that. We need to know, because there is difference between the Article 416B and whatever allegations they are putting on them. So, like I said before, you cannot arrest somebody, a pocket picker, from the market, and put kidnapping charge on that person. He's going to go to jail or even die for it. So there are two different things. And they have association delinquency. They want to go that route to say, oh, they are association member, they are courtesan, they are this and that. So it's two different things. I'm particular about the 416Bs. Another thing, somebody makes some comment to say, oh, we have Nigerians suffering in prison. I'm not out to fight. I'm not a freedom fighter. I'm not out to start fighting for freedom for people that I don't know what the crime they committed. But my first focus now is on this Nigerian mafia, which I'm, a victim and 100% sure of. Yes, I have the intention to look at, set up innocent projects later on, to start from the Oko prison here to alleviate the poverty, the stress or the problem or the stress that prisoners are going through. That's secondary. I want to be focused. That's why I'm not talking about that now. But I want to start with this, what I know, what I have the papers, or what I have the evidence, where I have the forged Green Bible in my possession. That is what I want to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really, really appreciate your time with us today. Honorable, thank you. And we are so proud that now you are fighting for the voiceless Nigerians in the prison across the whole Europe. Thank you very much. And
Italy.
In Italy. Okay.
416Bs.
Okay. Okay. Anytime you want to work with us, I'm always here. I'm willing to work with you anyhow, anytime, any day, because this is the kind of things
God bless you.
our channel stands for. Thank you very much, Honorable,
Yes.
once again. That's my fellow
Before
Najawa family. Go ahead.
Najawa, sorry. Before I go, I just want to use the opportunity to thank everybody that were praying for me. There are a lot of people that I have known, I don't know. There are a lot of people that I have met. I knew people were praying for me. I want to thank them so much, for their prayers, for their support, and even people that contributed, donated financially to my cause. I want to thank them. Please, let's keep on the good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again. Najawa's family right there. We have Honorable Osaze Osemwegie, the former Commissioner for Arts and Cultural Tourism. So thank you, Ambassador Joseph Egiamusoe. Please, I give you 10 seconds to round this up. Ambassador Joseph.
Well, thank you very much one more time. I mean, a lot has been said. I want to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner Osaze Osemwegie for the time granted and for coming on board to clear the air. I think beyond this point, the mission ahead now is for him to, the liberation that he wants to embark upon to liberate the Nigerians that are incarcerated in the prison in Italy. And I want to thank all the fans and followers, those who have tuned in to Niger Watch to join this show for tonight. It's always a pleasure to be part of your platform, and also to thank you for the good work that you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It's my pleasure to have you here. We've done this before, and I'm proud to always have you on my backbone. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, have a blessed evening.
You too. Bye for now.
Okay, my good people right there. That's so we see him. That one, our former Honorable Commissioner for Art and Culture, now he talked to us concerning the whole ordeal. Now don't hear him. So now then I will draw him. For a lot of people were trying to call in. I'm sorry. We already proposed just 2 calls. Okay, I'm sorry that we couldn't pick your calls. It wasn't an interactive session where everyone needs to call in. But yes, we wanted him to speak to us to let us know, even though he have talked in different platforms before, but I wanted him to come and talk on my own platform to let us know what really happened. So thank you very much, you guys that are supporting him, praying for him and all that. Let's continue to do that. Nobody's above mistake. Nobody can be above such things. Anybody can be a victim of circumstances. Who knows? Please calm down. Some of you who's carrying news here and there, it has happened. We need to move on to pray and join him to see how we can rescue our brothers and sisters in prison. Like our sister who called earlier on said that many, statistically, our own percentage, many of the people in prison, they are guilty of the offenses. So whatever happens over there, but I've heard in different places that Italian government, they manipulate a lot of things just to keep you right there. I don't know, is what we're hearing. Thank you, my good people. Now we'll judge the curtain. I'll come back again, just 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes, you'll see my face again, so that we could continue our land grabbing. And also not deviate from that. Thank you, my good people. I love you all. If you have any question you want to ask me on this particular program, which we just done, you can ask me on the next show. I'm coming back 5 minutes. You're seeing me here. Thank you, and God bless you all.